Hey everybody, this is Josh Cook, aka Seizures Palace, and today we're about to do Song of Week number 40. Today I'm going to be doing a, like UK house kind of track. I literally just sang some parts really quick because the whole song was a cool shell, but I'm like, maybe later I'll throw some vocals on it. I did that now, so we're going to go through and I'm going to kind of try to wrap up certain parts of the mix within this track and just kind of show you what's going on. So let's check it out. Okay, so here's some samples of what I have, and keep in mind, I just recorded the vocals, so it's really not mixed, but that's the point of this video, so let's check it out. Intro. And then little breakdown. I actually have to add some stuff here. Something else worth mentioning before I show you the rest is if you look up in the top right corner here, my CPU is going crazy. Like it's up to like 60% at times during the song. So you're also going to get to see how I manage a song like this a little bit in terms of CPU usage. And also you'll notice that I called the song Day Bow Bow. It's not going to stay called that. It just had some synths that were kind of like bowish. They just kind of had a whelp sort of like filter, auto filter sort of effect to them. So that was the first name that came to mind. It'll probably be called Sugary Pop, which it's not, but when you hear the lyrics, you'll understand, hopefully. So here's the words. I got down that sugary pop. When I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new. You know I'll make it for me, but then I'll pose it for you. And I got down that sugary pop. When I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new. You know I'll make it for me, but then I'll pose it for you. And just won't stop it. Right, so you can see the synth starts to develop there, and then I take little bits of the words. In fact, actually, no, I'll make it for me, but then I'll pose it for you. I want to get rid of those last little, the and. Pose it for you, and I just want to pose it for you at the end. Pose it for you. Make it for me, but then I'll pose it for you. That works cool with that. And I'm going to want the same thing the second time. This isn't in the right spot. I have to go a little deeper here. There we go. Okay, so that's all fixed. Quick save. Here's the next section, so it kind of echoes out. Pose it for you. Give me that sound, funk and soul will never die. Put it background, some people just never try now. Apologies for the glitching. That's going to happen for a little bit here. I really want to commit my ideas first before I flatten them. Sorry, I want to make sure I'm ready to commit my ideas is what I should say before I flatten them. And I'll save new versions so I can always go back. Here's that. I'll show you all the vocals isolated. So here's what we have here. I had like I'm not the best gritty singer by any means, but I did one take with I got down that sugary bar. A little bit of grit to kind of fill out the low end and just the dirtiness of it. I can't down that sugary bar. And then a fourth, I think, or some sort of harmony. I can't down that sugary bar. And then some falsetto, and then the three together. I can't down that sugary bar. When I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop. And gotta make something cool and new. You know I'll make it for me, but then I'll pose it for you. And so the words there are, if anyone's interested, I can't down that sugary pop. So in other words, I can't digest pop music, but it's also like drinking a can of pop, right? Can't down that sugary pop. When I hear it on the radio, it just won't stop. And gotta make something cool and new. Wouldn't ever normally put the word cool in lyrics, but it worked, I guess. You know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you. And that's kind of an allude to the Song of Week, where I make a song just for myself, and then I post it for other people to check out some of the techniques. So this is not a song meant for radio. It's just purely meant for the Song of Week stuff. And then the breakdown is, give me that sound, funk and soul, well, they'll never die. Booty to the ground, some people just never try now. Give me that sound, funk and soul, well, they'll never die. Booty to the ground, some people just never try now. And so, oddly enough, the first three were actually really auto-tuned, and then I blended in a little bit of the vocal synth by Isotope. And this last one, the break, is just basically like there's some really basic EQ and compression, but it's mostly just the vocal synth. There's no blending. It's just slapped right on there. And I didn't melodyne it. I didn't auto-tune it. Any auto-tuning is done within this particular vocal synth. And I just felt like I wanted something a little bit less tuned for this part. It's weird. Okay, so it's more tuned because it's really auto-tuned. I'm not going in and being finite with the way that I'm tuning things. But at the same time, there's some of the notes are kind of missed, like ba-da-ba-da-ba, when I'm kind of running up those runs. Like, I'm not the best at that stuff by any means, so there's some weird notes in there, and I think it's guessing to other notes within the scale. But you do set it. I can show you guys what's going on here. So you do set it to the key that you want, and this particular preset's called Time It Right underneath the contemporary presets in vocal synth, and then I switched it to 4th, and that's about it. So one more time.
Give me that sound, funk is so well they'll never die. Booty to the ground, some people just never try now. Give me that sound, funk is so well they'll never die. Booty to the ground, some people just never try now. Give me that sound, funk is...
Ooh, we're up to like 70% CPU. Okay, it is time. It is time to save a new version. Make sure you do that before you start flattening things, because you might want to go back, grab certain ideas again in the future. This one here is sidechained, so we might have to do this a little differently. What's going on up here? Oh, yeah, that's not good. I'm blending the vocal synth with more vocal synth there.
Give me that sound, funk is so well they'll never die. Booty to the ground, some people just never try now. Give me that sound, funk is so well they'll never die. Booty to the ground, some people just never try now.
Oh, that wasn't being used. Okay, so let's try this.
I get down that sugary pop when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new, you know I'll make it for me, but then I'll pose it for you. I get down that...
Bless me. No, that's not working for me. I'm gonna get rid of that altogether. Okay, so now we can take out this break part here, and we can put it in a group. And then we're going to throw the sidechain compression into the group. We'll call it BreakVox. Oh, my allergies are going crazy right now. We'll call it BreakVox, and then now I can freeze it because the sidechain compression isn't immediately on that channel. It's on the group. Life hack, or just an Ableton hack, but it works when you're trying to sum up these sessions. Groups. And the old freezing game, the old waiting game. Yeah, I'm not going to take you guys through everything within this song today in terms of how I'm going to try to wrap this up, but you guys definitely get to see a little bit of the process along the way. So what I'm going to do is listen from the beginning. Oh, you know what? I really wanted to put in a riser towards the beginning, and I think I was going to use contact, rise, and hit, but I know I don't have the CPU power, so let's make a real cheap one. I'm going to throw in an audio track. Actually, let's do it this way. White noise audio. This is something I saved from before, just a little white noise clip, which loops really nicely. Was it? Yeah, sorry for that. Okay, so let's... Oh. Try that again. Let's join those four together. Let's throw some sidechain compression on. Let's throw on some EQ, filtering out some of the lows. There's some annoying stuff happening. Soften it just a little bit. It's very loud, so let's make sure we deal with that. An auto filter. Start it around there. And creep it up. And then a lot of people, I'm not talking to the mic, that would help. A lot of people will thin things out right at the end like this. Nope, not like that. Okay, hold on. Like this. Here we go. Yeah, that works. And the only thing is that reverb makes it so that way it doesn't cut out abruptly, which is something that I would like. So, I mean, there's a couple ways to do this. You can mute the send, but you might have other things going into that send in terms of sending reverb from other channels. So I'm just going to kind of automate that out towards the end. That works for now.
Sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new, you know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you. I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new, you know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you.
So I almost prefer it without that middle harmony.
I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio.
It's nice and clean.
I got it down that.
It's just a little too loud, so I'm going to meet it halfway. Instead of just totally getting rid of it, I'm just going to blend it in so you can barely hear it, so it just thickens things up a bit.
I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new, you know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you. And I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new, you know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you. Just won't stop it. Post it for you. Just won't stop it. Post it for you.
Little fade out or echo.
Give me that sound, funk and soul, well they'll never die. To the ground, some people just never try now. Give me that sound, funk and soul, well they'll never die. To the ground, some people just never try now. Give me that sound, funk and soul, well they'll never die. To the ground, some people just never try now. Give me that sound, funk and soul, well they'll never die. To the ground, some people just never try now. I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the.
Yeah, so there's some odd, it's disjunct between the two sections in terms of the way the vocals sound, so I'm just going to try to level that out a bit.
I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make some.
Here's something I would do around this time. I'm going to use one of these little accordion style speakers. I got this from, I think, Amazon, but you can buy them at like Shoppers Drug Mart or Walmart or wherever. And so it's weird now. I'm used to doing these videos where I can always hear myself through the headphones, but not the case right now. Oh, hello. I can hear myself on the little speaker. Okay, cool. So I'm going to check things in mono right now on this little speaker. Let's try it out.
I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new, you know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you. I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop. Give me that sound, funk and soul, well they'll never die. Put it on the ground, some people just never try now. Give me that sound, funk and soul, well they'll never die. Put it on.
Play that with the drums.
Give me that sound, funk and soul, well they'll never die. Put it on the ground, some people just never try now. Give me that sound, funk and soul, well they'll never die. Put it on the ground, some people just never try now. I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new, you know I'll make it for me.
Let's try some delays on the vocals.
I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new, you know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you. I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new, you know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you. I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new, you know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you. I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new, you know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you.
Maybe a little slap.
I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new, you know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you. I got it down that sugary bar, when I hear it on the radio, I just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new, you know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you.
small little thing, but I'm gonna fix it. So the poster for you, and there's still those little ands on these two here.
Poster for you. Just won't stop it.
Get rid of those.
Poster for you. Give me that sound. Funk is over the never die.
Yeah, so the and at the end of that worked really well when it was looping, but when it's at the end, it sounds like it wants to keep going, but it doesn't, so it's kind of conflicting. Anyway, I'm done mixing mono for now. Now to hear how it sounds on headphones again.
I got it down that sugary pop. When I hear it on the radio, it just won't stop it. Gotta make some. Give me that sound.
Sounds a bit quiet. And here's why I think it sounds a bit quiet. Sometimes when you mix in mono, the vocals or lead guitar or any of the really, really center pan things are going to sound louder than anything that's been spread out a bit. So when I was mixing in mono, I was blending when I should have probably been letting the vocals sit a little bit more on top of the mix. So let's do this. Let's add 1 decibel to both of those and re-listen.
I got it down that sugary pop. When I hear it on the radio, give me that sound.
Sounds good. I'm not happy with the reverb here. It might be a little bit too long. Let's do a custom verb for the vocals. Valhalla Room, group, and we're going to make a clean channel. And a reverb channel. I like to keep my clean at the top, so we'll flip those. Going to go for a reverb less than 2. Let's go presets for a minute here. Let's go small.
I get down that sugary pop. When I hear it on the radio, it just won't stop it.
Medium's getting me closer to where I want, so we'll up the time just a little bit. Be around 0.8. I like my hi-hats around there in terms of reverb, so we'll try it on the vocals. Normally I add a bit more. We'll go over a second, probably.
I get down that sugary pop. When I hear it on the radio, it just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new. You know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you. I get down that sugary pop. When I hear it on the radio, it just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new. You know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you. I get down that sugary pop. When I hear it on the radio, it just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new. You know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you. I get down that sugary pop. When I hear it on the radio, it just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new. You know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you. I get down that sugary pop. When I hear it on the radio, it just won't stop it. Gotta make something cool and new. You know I'll make it for me, but then I'll post it for you.
All right, we're going to save that for now. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what I'm doing in terms of this song. Like, it's Tuesday right now. I probably won't put this song out for my song week until like Thursday or Friday. There's still lots more that has to be done on this song, but I wanted to isolate the vocals a little bit and show you guys, even if you're not the best singer, I don't consider myself to be a fantastic singer, but a little bit of auto-tune, a little bit of production goes a long way, and of course practice too. I'm not the worst singer, but I think for me the one thing that's really helped is teaching vocals. And again, I think that my blend of being a pretty good singer mixed with a decent piano player has really helped me as a vocal instructor, knowing the patterns to play, and more than anything, just really doing a lot of research, especially on speech level singing. I'm not a certified speech level vocal instructor, but understanding some of the psychology and the physical nature behind how the vocal cords work has really helped. So as a little disclaimer, if you haven't checked out a guy named Seth Riggs and you're interested in singing, check out his vocal technique. It's pretty darn awesome. It's called speech level singing. So and he has a great book called Singing for the Stars, which is not like you're singing for the stars in the universe, but it's the singing method for the Hollywood stars. So if they're like, oh, I can't sing very well and I have a singing role in 3 months or 6 months and I need to learn how to sing, they call up that guy and he knows his stuff. So anyway, I'm going to spend the next few days paring this session down and actually really digging deep into the mix. One thing worth sharing too, I guess, before we're done here is my work bass, which is kind of inspired by Overwork, which in turn was inspired by Daft Punk. So I was kind of doing Reduxed bass back in the day when Daft Punk was influential for me. Then I heard Overwork come back and kind of have a resurgence of that sound. So every once in a while I'll dip into that sound, which is fun. It sounds like this. So that's Serum, some multi-band compression, and some Redux set to soft 7.63. You can see the EQ happening here, nothing too crazy, a big dip out around 1.3, and then some filtering towards the end that is automated. So So there's that. I'll just go through the parts individually because I didn't do that before. This is FM8. I almost never use FM8, but this was lots of fun. And I put driver on it. Here's without driver. Hear all that high weird stuff that it's adding? I just thought it was really cool, so I went with it. I've already showed you the vocals. This is more Serum. Heavily side-chained. Just a little. This was actually something that I added just before I started to record the vocals today. I haven't blended it in or mixed it. I just duplicated wub here. This should be called like tinsel or high synth or something like that. And then the pads, these are kind of cool. More Serum. Whoops. Dare I say it might be a little bit of a nod towards future bass, which is a genre that I don't really compose. So many other people are doing it. I'll leave them to their own thing that's going on there. But yeah, I could tell that in Serum, this particular patch was kind of geared towards that floomy future bass sound, so to speak. Everything else was pretty standard for my sessions. I had kick 2 tuned to a G. G and D tend to be two of the keys that I gravitate towards a lot. They're pretty fantastic for club music in terms of where the sub sits. Some drums, a little blip that I didn't actually use throughout the whole song. I might bring that back. And that's like a little clip of a reverbed section of, I believe, wub keys. And then you guys saw me add in that white noise. So that's everything for today. Thank you for watching. I guarantee you that the last couple song weeks that I do are going to be a little bit more special than some of the last few or first 40 that I've done. I want to go out with a bang, so I'm going to have some guests come in and help me with those last couple tracks. Can't tell you who, but I can tell you that's going to happen. So thanks again for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and be awesome. See you next week.